Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're out here in the quarry, and we're going to do a 1.0 tire comparo. So we can't really call this a shootout because they're all of different sizes and classes, but we've got tires here from, we got Pitbull, RC four-wheel drive, and then we have Little Guy Racing parts down there. But to start, we're going to go smallest to largest, but we've got the comically small RoxLox on a set of black rhinos. So we're just testing out, traction and stuff like that, but this thing looks hilarious with these tiny wheels. So let me get the camera set up and we'll get going. So they had quite a bit of trouble with that climb. You could really hear the tires scratching at the surface. Wow, those are the only ones that have done that. So again, these are the RC four-wheel drive. Let me get this thing to focus here. RC four-wheel drive RoxLox on RC four-wheel drive Black Rhino wheels. These are for a Mini Z 4Runner that you see on the channel. But I just went and grabbed all the 1-inch ones I have. So yeah, let's switch them. All right, so these are a set of Pitbull rockers on a set of SSD wheels, and these are off of Project Family Heirloom or Project Nostalgia, depending on which forum I'm on or which name I prefer to call it. But yeah, so these are off of that F-150 body, and these work pretty good. I'm very impressed with these, and if I would have had a better line on that rock there, I probably would have made it down just like the other ones. But let's switch these. So this is an RC four-wheel drive Super Swamper, and this is on an SSD wheel. Oh, 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 oh. Well, if you have been around the mini crawler game for a while, these tires should need no introduction to you. This is the RC4WD Mudslinger, and this is riding on a LGRP, was it 5215, I think they call it? I believe there's a two-stage foam in here. It's one of the few in the lineup that has a two-stage. I usually run this in sand. There's a spot right by my house that's just basically a big sand dune. And if you go over there with a mini, you basically need this. It just gets stuck anywhere else, or sorry, with any other tire. So again, these are the RC4WD Mudslinger. They're a really good tire in certain conditions. They actually did surprisingly well there. And then again, this is an LGRP wheel. They have some pretty good weight to them. And then yeah, there's a two-stage in here. I believe I upgrade RC, so it really helps these tires because they're quite soft. But yeah, next one. I was looking forward to the most. So this is an LGRP gripper on an LGRP all brass wheel. So this has got a single stage foam in it from I don't know where, but it's not theirs because basically the foams they give you, they won't support any weight. So I don't know if they market them as 1/18th, but I don't know, maybe 124, but even a lot of 124 stuff is really heavy. But anyway, so you typically have to switch the foams out, but let's see how they do. Whoa. So that was the LGRP Gripper on their brass wheel. So I was really pulling for this one. I thought for sure it was gonna just throw down there, but I don't know, it seems like these little fingers are just too soft maybe. It just can't, they're just, I don't know, tickling the rocks. Sounded a lot like that really small RC4 drive when it was like kind of tickling at the surface. But anyway, let's take it over to the vertical face and we'll see how it does, and then maybe we'll run reverse order back through them over there. Well, I'm gonna try and get as much in as I can, but that doesn't look very promising. I had my back to it the whole time, and where we need to go is over in that bush. So let's see. All right, so with that storm bearing down on us, I'm not gonna have a ton of time. So we're not gonna do each one. We're gonna just do the ones I feel will do well. So we'll start with this, and then I think we'll move to the swamper, and what was the other one? The Pitbull. So just trying to find somewhere where it'll get up. Not there. So this is an all brass wheel, so it's adding a pretty good amount of weight to the front. Well, the whole truck, but oh. Yeah, I don't see this one. All right, so we got the Pitbull rockers. Now, I don't think we did a vertical test at the other spot, so they're getting it here. I think of these tires as more of like a scale, good looker, with performance being mixed in there. But holy fuck. Look at this, eh? Mind you, I think the last ones were able to get it up. get it up that high. Just like an inch off the ground. This is where they've all had more of a shot, I guess, following the vein or seams of the rock. I don't think it's got it. It looks like it's doing something, but it's just pivoting on the left rear there. Surface should be good and scuffed now. If there's going to be any time to do it, it's going to be here. So, as I was saying before, I have some all brass wheels coming. I want to say they're about 80 grams each. I'm not 100% sure. But I think what we'll do is we'll stick those on the front with our different tire tests. So we'll keep the same lighter weight Endura in the rear. It still has a brass ring. It's just not full. And then we'll do the full brass in the fronts. And then that'll simulate me having, changed the axle to metal, or I don't know if the brass knuckles, the inner portal box will weigh that much, but it'll try and plant the front down more. The thing is, like, none of these wheels are light. like these SSD wheels, they're pretty chunky. Well, I think this is going to be it. We got some thunder we can hear off in the distance now, so we're going to give this RC four-wheel drive Swamper a shot here. Oh, I lose my hat again. Looked really promising there for a moment. Let's come over a little. All right, last try, and then I'm gonna have to get out of here. Okay, so we finished another shoot with another tire shootout comparison. So here we have a full RC four-wheel drive unit. So as I was saying, this is the RoxLox. So it looks very similar to the Super Swamper, but there's more siping. If you look at the blocks, there's little sipes and stuff in them, and I think that's where it gets that sound from. It gets like a very distinct sort of fingery sound on the rocks. And then we got the Pitbull. So this does okay. I thought it would do a little better, but you know what? On the heavy TRX4, it seems to do not bad on that F150. And then here's the Super Swamper. So this impressed actually. It feels like a decent. I think this is the XS2. I can't remember what they call their compound, but this is the older compound. It feels not bad. These SSD wheels though, they're a pain to kind of mount stuff on. I find the lip is so small. I was having a lot of trouble with mounting up any LGRP stuff, but let's go down to the Mudslinger. I mean, this thing doesn't really need much introduction, right? It's good for what it does. Got up that one vertical climb that we tried pretty easily. I didn't throw it on the other one because I'm just pressed for time here with this storm coming in. And then we have the LGRP Gripper. Kind of sad about this. I thought for sure this thing was going to do really, really good. But I haven't found a surface to get this to work on yet, whether it's the indoor granite where they put soda on it, soda water. They have a concrete course there. It does okay. Didn't do very good out here. So I'm not sure what to do with it. But I have a really heavy TRX4 that's got portals and stuff on it, TRX4M. So we're gonna redo this once I get that thing up and running. You know, probably sans that one, and then maybe that one, because we wouldn't use it on that. But it would be these dudes we would do a comparison to. But anyways, thanks for sticking around as always and watching. I hope you all take care.